Hey, what's up everyone? In this video, we're going to look at the parent and child region pages for the upcoming Canvas starter site. So these are really important pages for SEO and for helping people navigate the front end of your website for those region specific pages, finding sub-region pages, things of that nature, which I'll show you in this video. Okay, let's go ahead and dive in. From the MyListing Club website, that's mylisting.club, we're going to go ahead and click on MyListing Starter Sites here. This card right on the home page, and then we're going to click Explore, and then we're going to click into the Canvas card, and then we're going to scroll down here to the Build Notes and expand the Region Pages toggle. So I'm going to read from these exact notes as we go along here in this video. I'm going to move this over to my other screen. If you are interested in this starter site, I highly recommend you check out the build notes just to get a understanding of how much work and what work has gone into this. And even if you're not interested in the starter site entirely, if you're interested in individual templates, it's also valuable. Or if you just want to learn, if you're new to MyListing or even use MyListing for a while, if you just want to learn about certain things, just read through my notes and see how I approach things, and maybe you'll get some useful information there. Okay, so let me go ahead and some of this is just reading, and then we'll get into how these things are built, what they look like, and all that sort of thing. These pages are for SEO, search engine optimization, and the overall user experience, keeping users on your website and giving them proper pathways to find region-specific content. Highly custom permalinks. While MyListing offers some flexibility with the permalink structures and automation of that structure, from an SEO standpoint, there are still shortcomings. So, for example, if you dive here into settings and permalinks, we see that MyListing does give you some options for a listing base here. Okay, so that's how you can use variables that they give you to build them. There are limitations though. For example, if you want to specify a parent-child taxonomy relationship in the URLs, that's not possible without a custom solution. So to get around that, with all of the starter sites, I include Permalink Manager Pro, which is licensed and included and licensed, and it can be used to fix this issue as well as the next issue I'm going to talk about, which is enhanced region permalinks. By default, anytime a user clicks on a region taxonomy icon or name of that taxonomy within a MyListing website, they are taken to an Explorer page. Or if they are already on an Explorer page, that Explorer page reloads and filters listings for that region. So let me show you, for example, on the MyListing demo, what I am talking about there. Okay, so I have the main MyListing demo pulled up, and let's go ahead and click on this right here. So whether you click on the taxonomy icon for restaurants in this case, or the word for the taxonomy, the title, restaurants, what that's going to do is it's going to open an Explorer page and start to filter by that taxonomy. The problem with this is that the Explorer page has little to no SEO value whatsoever. The content is thin, it's highly dynamic, it's just not good for SEO overall. There's better ways to do it, okay? So that is what I was talking about there. To get around this again, Permalink Manager Pro included and licensed, and the Enhanced Region Permalinks add-on for MyListing. This is an add-on from the MyListing Club. I include all of the MyListing Club add-ons in starter sites for free. So the tandem of Permalinks Manager Pro and this Enhanced Region Permalinks add-on, what it allows you to do, which I'll show you right here. So now when clicking on this San Diego, whether it's the icon or the title, we don't want this page to just reload. We want to actually go to a region page, okay? Boom, there we go. So we are now, if we look at the URL up here, we are in a custom page built with Elementor. Now it can be SEO optimized, designed however it is that you want. That's where it's at. Okay. My apologies there, I had to shut my door. But yeah, so continuing on. Yeah, where did I leave off? Sorry, I got me a little off track there. This solution combo lets you get granular with your permalinks and automate that process, allowing you to set up custom region page links, which is critical for SEO and provides a better user experience. Okay, so I've shown you that here, and then I'm gonna go ahead and bring back that the parent region page. Okay, and you can see up here in the links, it is custom. It's very easy to do this. Instead of, you just leave the MyListing permalinks as they are, and then you dive into the permalinks manager settings, when we go to the permastructure tabs, and then we define whatever you can dream up. You can have whatever structure you want. If you're looking at this starter site and you say, let's go look at a listing, for example. So if you go here and you look at this custom URL that I've created, this permalink structure, if you look at this and you say, hey, it's too long, or I need to inject something else or remove something, it's just as simple as coming into Permalink Manager and changing your variables, okay? And once you do that, you just run the tool within Permalink Manager to regenerate all of the URLs, and it will go out there in one action. It just goes out there and updates all of the URLs. So very, very simple, powerful solution for custom permalinks. Okay, and it doesn't matter if it's just it's not just regions, it's anything, category pages, whatever. You can change the structure of anything on your website. Okay, miscellaneous highlights. We are looking currently at the parent region page, so let's look at those miscellaneous highlights. I've designed and implemented parent region and child region pages, and here are some of the general highlights. The H1 heading is dynamically replaced by the page title, in this case, California. So that's the name of this page. So that's dynamically going to be brought in. H2 and H6 headings. The page title is dynamically added to these as well and strategically placed. So everywhere you see the word California in this case, which is the page title, it's dynamically injected in here. Okay, and we just see that throughout this page. Okay. And that's just done with Elementor. So you just edit the heading widget with Elementor, and you just change what is dynamically put in there. I'll quickly show you that. So let's look at this one, for example. We see here that we are injecting the post title. If you click on that word post title, that's where you can inject words before or after, and then even set a fallback if you want. So that's how this is saying state of California. We are injecting that text before the page title. Okay, pretty simple stuff, but that's how you edit it. SEO-friendly heading assignments. And just about every MyListing website that you look at, if you look at any page, it's not going to be, the headings are not going to be laid out correctly. So I have taken the time on region pages, these region pages, which are really important for SEO, to make sure that the heading structure is correct. So, for example, if we pull up this heading inspect tool, we see here that we get a proper H1 of California here, which is our page title. We have an H2, which is the state of California. And then we have an H3, which is California visit, stay, and play, which is this H3. And then our next one up here are the H4s, which are these CTAs here. These don't have to be H4s. You can make these, H5, H6, or you can just set them as like spans or divs or paragraphs if you want. But this works out for this particular structure. And then moving on down, we see another all these are H3s here. These headings, these are all H3s. As we see, where it became tricky and where I had to get around it is this right here. These listing feeds come in at head an H4. So I've actually put in a feature request to the MyListing devs and the help desk to see if there's a way that we can dictate what headings we want to be output from this, rather than us having to work around them. Not a huge deal in this case. The structure is good. I'm just saying it would be nice to be able to dictate what's output there. So hopefully they come up with that. Okay. The other really important piece is if you are going to proceed with this weather widget, here. Do note that if this is a free service, you just go to the weatherwidget.io website and create your code and embed it here. Do note though that if you just choose the defaults and let it embed the words, like so underneath this little cloud icon, they want to inject the words weather in California, for example. That's going to have an H1 heading, which is extremely bad. Like you got to take those words out of there. If you need to display weather in California or whatever, do that with a little heading or some text. But make sure you strip that out of your embed. So if we look at the weather embed here, we see here in my code that there's no mention of the words weather or the word California as far as like a label or a heading or anything. So when you go to weatherwidget.io, I can actually just do this with you really quick. So when we go here, and let's say we want to do California. Okay, you want to make sure that you clear this label, take that out, take out this label. Those are what's going to produce those heading tags that you do not want, because I don't know how you change them. You'd have to probably reach out to the weather widget and they're probably going to tell you to go fly a kite. But anyway, so then when you click on get your code, this is your embed code. You're still not done yet. Many people might just go ahead and click copy to clipboard here and dump it in their website. That's going to be bad. So what you need to do is you need to make sure that you just clear out the label for your link too. So take that out just like that, and now you're good to go. So those are the steps. Remove the labels and then remove the link label within the embed. Now you can click copy to clipboard and you're all set. All right, so that is that. Child region pages include a link to the corresponding parent region page. So for that, let's get to child region page. All this is saying simply is if people want to get back to the parent state, it's listed right here below the title here. So they can just click that link and get to the parent page. Okay, listing feeds that are dynamically populated with region-specific listings. So as you see here, that we are on the San Diego page, and we see here that we have San Diego listings. So every listing in here is for that city and no others, okay? Listing feed designs are pulled from the Canvas Listing Preview CSS package. So using the power of WP Codebox, we have a code snippet for listing previews. To be able to apply these strategically to pages, for just to keep page weight down and speed, you don't want to apply CSS to your entire website if it's not needed. We simply come in here to the conditions builder for this snippet in WP Codebox, and I say, using their conditions builder, only apply the listing preview CSS to strategic places. One of those strategic places are these region pages. Okay, and how I do that, how I got around that was any page that has the letters US, like United States, as you're seeing here on my screen, that is going to apply to those pages. All right. Now, for your website, you just got to keep that in mind. Just adjust, adjust what goes in the conditions builder here. Okay. We could probably even put a slash here like this to ensure that it's only going to get those pages. In fact, let me go ahead and do that now in this video. That way, what if you do have a page URL that just has the words, that has the word U and S next to each other, and then it's going to apply. So maybe we can avoid that as well. So let's go ahead and test that out. So here's our designs. We want to make sure these designs still stay intact. And they do. Cool. So that's actually a better solution. I just thought of that on the fly. Let me go over, because we have a dark mode version too. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to set that same value there. Yeah, this is much better. I was trying to think about this yesterday and I just totally missed that yesterday. Yeah, that's way better. Okay, cool. Okay, so that's that. We are all good there. That's how that works. So again, if your URL, however you do your regions and you structure them out, then just make sure that condition gets updated. Okay. And I'd like to take this time to point out that when you purchase a starter site, you get a free month in the club community. That's one of the things that you can ask. If you run into a snag, just drop that question in there and I will help you. Okay. All right, what else? The last miscellaneous highlight is MyListing's listing feed widgets, carousel and grid have design flaws by default. So these right here, so this is the grid, and then this is the feed. These are not, like, I need to reach out to the MyListing guys. These are not ready for, in my opinion, they are not ready for the new Elementor containers that have been out for a while now. And I think if I recall, even with the old sections and columns that Elementor used to use, I recall I had to make adjustments to these. Now, you don't have to get into CSS or anything to do that, but if you edit the widget, you got to mess with the margins left and right. You got to put some negative margins in there for these to look right. So that's the grid, and then you'll see in the feed, you got to do it as well. Otherwise, you'll watch here, if I take this out, you see how it drops down? Or if I take out the left, watch it shift. So it's minor stuff, but it's things that I took the time to look at and make sure that everything lines up and works properly. So that's a perk of getting these templates or the starter site or the starter site. Okay. Next up is the calls to action. So with these, this first one here is the only one that has an image. And, throughout this starter site, I use placeholder images. So in the back end, you will see an image relates to this small CTA. It will tell you exactly the image size that you should use, no bigger, no smaller, for the CTAs, whether it's the small CTA here, the large one, or the extra small. Okay. They're all labeled. All the CTAs are labeled. So if you do decide to add an image to any of these, you'll know what to do there. I've designed variations for you to pick from. The CTA titles are partial. And what I mean by that is I could have made these all like the same color and stuff like that, but I wanted to give you guys a different look to choose from. If you like the look of one and not the other, if you're not familiar with Elementor's copy feature, you can just right click on it and copy the style and then paste that style into another widget. Okay, quick way to duplicate designs or duplicate styles. What else? The CTA titles are partially created using the site title. So you see here the word canvas in there is injected, and that's done by editing the title. So I'm going to go back here, content and title. We see that site title is dynamically added, and I'm just injecting the word small CTA after the title. Okay, and we see that in the large CTA and then the extra small CTA. And for those that don't know, the site title is derived from the WordPress dashboard settings general site title. So I can show you that really quick. Settings, general, and whatever you put in here for the site title. Okay. All right, what else do we have? Also, even though the Canvas small CTA is the only one, okay, so I went over the placeholder images, weather forecast. Using the weather widget IO, again, free service, which I showed you a little bit ago, I created a light and a dark mode version. So we're going to look at the dark mode version here in a second, but within weather widget IO, you have the choice, bring that up again, you have the choice of doing all kinds of cool design things. So under themes, you'll see I used this pure mode for light mode and dark mode there. And then even when you get in there, let's say you choose dark, you can get in there and you can choose if it has a gradient style or whatever. And you can also click customize and then edit all of the colors. You can edit the fonts. You can do all kinds of crazy stuff. Really cool service, especially because it's free, but just in general, it's really cool. All I'm doing there is embedding that with an HTML widget with Elementor and just dropping that in as I showed you earlier in the video. Region icon list. I use the Elementor icon list widgets to add columns of clickable links to other region pages, content, etc. So let's scroll down here. So this is at the very bottom of the page. And yeah, so this is where we're on the parent region page, right? So here's where you would put cities for that state, popular cities, like, listings. Like, let's say that one city has the most listings for the state of California, or like you take like the top 50 or whatever cities of that state, and you just populate those in here. Just an idea that you can have. And the same thing for the child region pages, except for instead of cities, because San Diego is a city, then we've got neighborhoods. Okay, so you can put that in there. And if you want to take it a step further, you could do neighborhood, comma, San Diego, CA. It just depends how far you want to take it, but that is another thing that you could do there. Okay. What else? And we're going to look at the mobile responsive in a second, because it's probably a question that's coming up. What else? Bulk content. This is just a special note that I put in here. If you want to add region pages in bulk, it's easy to do with LPagery, Bulk Page Creator. Chances are most people can get away with the free version, as I covered in my LPagery partner video. So I recently did a video on LPagery. It's very easy to use. It can bulk create your region pages, category pages, any pages on your WordPress website. Very simple to do, and it's dynamic. And chances are you're going to be able to use it for free. But if you want some of the more advanced features, then the club has a partnership where you can get a discount for LPagery. So I just wanted to put that note in there in case people had interest in bulk creating their pages. A lot of times I will get clients that purchase the starter site and ask that question. So I really wanted to bring that to the forefront. Another special note, in these pages, between the parent and the child, the only differences are, so let's bring the parent on the left and the child on the right. The only difference is on the child page is I added that parent link underneath it, and then at the bottom, these are different. Okay, that's it. That's the only difference at this time. In the future, there may be changes, but I'll document that, do a video, all that sort of thing. This starter site is going to evolve. I'm probably going to have, I will have, different forms of region pages over time for people to pick from. But this is an awesome one already. We're just going to use the Canvas starter site just to keep iterating, keep adding different versions, different flavors of, different design options for people. But yeah, I really wanted to point that out, because I don't want people to waste a download. And you go get the San Diego template and then you go get the California template, when you could just get, I would probably just get the child and then make the adjustments, Okay. What else before we get into the looking at the mobile responsiveness and all that stuff? Complete the overall solution. So again, I mentioned these preview cards are styled from the listing preview CSS package, light or dark mode. And the contact form pop-up. So this CTA right here is for opening a contact form. Okay, click on that. It links to that pop-up that is included with the starter site, or you can get this form template as an individual download as part of your club membership. Okay, you'll see here, like I'm trying to educate people here. Obviously, you're not going to have a button that says open contact form. I'm just educating people on what this stuff is doing, or what it should do, and that sort of thing. Okay. And this right here, set this up for it's ready to go, but you need to plug in your own newsletter. If you want to set up a newsletter sign up form, if you just want this to be a contact form, you can adjust the design and just make it send out an email. Totally up to you what you want to do there. Okay. Let's look at the mobile design here. Okay, desktop is good. And let's look at tablet, which is typically one of the harder ones to do. We do have a bit of white space here, but not a huge deal. Most people aren't going to be looking on tablets anyway, according to the statistics. And obviously you're going to have more blog posts. So this gap right here is probably going to be filled, but even if it's not a huge deal, people are not going to hold that against you. But yeah, that looks great. But then, so desktop and then a mobile phone, those are going to be your two big viewers there, and it looks great on mobile phones. Okay. If you haven't seen another video where I've mentioned it, everything is done with the latest technology from Elementor. So we're using nothing but containers for these for the best performance. So no more sections, no more columns. It's all container based. Here is the dark mode version. And I'm just going to really quickly fly through the. Oh, sorry, that's not the dark mode version. This is the dark mode version. Again, your pages won't have the word dark in there. It's just because that's the name of the page. So we'll fly through this. Everything's adjusted for dark mode. There's that dark mode widget. Looks really cool. This page isn't going to stay. It's going to be deleted after this video, but a template will be created for you to use. I'm just pointing that out because you see where it says San Diego weather here. You don't want that to be in there because that's where that heading comes into play. We want to strip that out. I just want to point that out. I didn't want someone to come to me and say, "Hey, you didn't remove it on this template," but this page is actually going away. I also wanted to point out here that we're by default we're displaying this entire website in the light mode version. So if you want these cars to show in dark, you just flip that listing preview over in WP Code Box. So I will show you that actually really quick. So we're actually not going to fly through this. We're going to spend a little bit of time here. So I'm just going to flip these preview cards over. So you just turn off the light mode, turn on the dark mode, and it's just as simple as that. So let me go ahead and refresh this. Actually, you know what? We need to look at the page on the front end. Let's do that. Yeah, these are the pages that are going away. We'll just go with the templates. Okay, so that is it. I just had to refresh the cache, but that is the dark mode look. Obviously, this placeholder, you're going to put your own images in there, and then it won't have this gray box. It'll be a really nice looking image in there. But yep, that is the dark mode design. That all looks good. Let's go back here to the mobile look and continue on. We'll just fly through this because it's all the same stuff. Just different colors, but the layout is completely the same. Okay, a little different look there on the weather. Obviously, the labels will go away for the city and state. There we go. And again, like the last thing I'll say here is, it's Flexbox, it's containers. This stuff is all easily adjusted now that we can have containers. So if you want to space these out differently, if you want to center them, start them at the end, do a little bit different spacing styles, totally up to you now, which we didn't have that power before without using a lot of CSS by hand, but very powerful stuff. All right, guys, hopefully, as I've said before, you're excited about the starter site, as excited as I am. Still working through the final pages to get this sucker launched, but yeah, progressing nicely and hoping to launch soon. I don't have a date, maybe a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, but shouldn't be much longer than that. All right, thank you guys. Bye-bye.